What's up, Thumpers? Welcome back to another episode of Hyper Heroes here on Hyper Rabbit Power Go.
Woo!
There is so much to discuss.
So much energy in the room
So
tonight,
much
guys.
energy.
Let's get into it.
I'm pumped as farts.
Palpatine, Disney Plus. What?
Hey!
Hey!
If you haven't seen, we did do a trailer reaction for Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker. I'm gonna get that confused.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Rise of the Skywalker,
Yep.
Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah.
The Rise of
It
Skywalker.
will take us a while.
It's gonna take us 6 months to figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll
a
be
little
fine, though.
clunky.
Little
Clunky.
bit.
A
Just
little bit.
just
A little bit. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
Rise
No.
of the Skywalkers.
Rise of
Would have been better.
Skywalker
Ooh,
Rising.
hey,
Yeah.
Tickle those jingles, baby.
Yeah.
The Rise of the Silver Surfer. Fantastic.
Chris
cartoon.
Evans as the Emperor.
I can do this all day.
That would actually be fucking amazing.
That would be really funny.
Before we start, I want to let you guys know we have officially relaunched our Patreon. If you go down to the description or go to patreon.com/hyperrpg.
This is the Patreon you're looking for.
This is the Patreon you're looking for. We've completely redone the whole thing. We've got new goals, new tiers. We've eliminated some tiers. We've added some tiers. We've got so many new goals on there. One of them, as we talked about a few months back, one of the goals is to do the Invincible podcast.
I already have 4 books of the Ultimate collection.
yeah,
so
yeah,
Those are good.
I got lots for you to read.
Excited, very excited. We're very close. We have a few goals before our first main goal. Our first main goal is to come back and do commentaries, and we still do owe you guys a commentary, so we will do that regardless of when we hit that goal.
Yep.
We'll do that for you guys before. Hector and I have been talking about doing another podcast about 3D movies,
Yep.
which I think we're definitely going to sprinkle
Yep.
in there because everyone
With
keeps
special
shitting on
guest,
3D.
special guest Augustine when he wants.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
No, guys, I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
do it. I'll totally do it.
I
but
know. I know.
It'll be a good time. We'll talk about 3D movies just every single week.
well,
So
okay.
great.
It's what we do. It's what we do on Twitter all the time.
Look, I really feel like I'm changing my world around me.
I think you
but
are.
Even though
dude,
this
we had
is
a comment
is
on our
dying
YouTube video today that was
Yeah.
like, I'm so glad I found people who love 3D, and I'm
Oh,
like,
rad.
Right.
Cool.
love
The
it.
It's
community's out
just
there.
us.
We just
Yeah.
have to gather
There are
them.
dozens of us.
There are
dozens.
We're the new 3D order. Also, I did
You
see
guys
that.
are the never nudes of 3D.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, I
Right.
did see that Alita is coming out in 4K 3D combo pack, and I'm
Bro.
like, that's what's up. That's
Roberto
what's up.
Rodriguez. That's what's up. That's what's up.
You
I
guys
have to pick that
by
up.
yourselves are driving the industry.
Oh, we are. God damn it, we better be.
We've been told that multiple times.
No,
I
no, no.
know.
You guys are gonna find that community out there.
I hope so. I think
that
we
other
will.
that other project that we talked about as well is also something
Ooh.
that I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
like
yeah.
to be a
Yeah?
part of if you guys do it. So
Oh,
Cool.
hello.
Cool. Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so if you go to patreon.com/hyperrpg, there's a whole bunch of new stuff. We've got several new tiers. We've got tiers, we call it the Hyper Homie tier, where you get early access to videos, podcasts, eventually commentaries. You can ask questions that we will answer on this show. We had several people ask questions for tonight's show. We're going to be answering those throughout the episode.
Oh, they're already coming in
I
off of
sprinkled,
that tier?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh,
I
cool.
sprinkled them into the topics,
Cool.
to whatever topics they're related to. And then we also have a couple at the very end we're going to answer. So you can do that for $5 a month. We also have a $2 tier where you get access to polls. You get access to some digital goodies that I'm going to be throwing in there. They're going to change probably every month. I know a lot of people have been huge fans of me doing like wallpapers for mobile devices
yeah.
and backgrounds. I might throw some other cool shit in there that I can't tell you about.
Illegal things. Just kidding. Not
Yeah,
illegal.
no.
Not illegal things.
And we're also very open to experimenting with the tiers. And if you feel like there's something that could be added to
Yeah.
justify the value of a certain tier,
Yeah.
please tell us. We have a support email, patreon@hyperrpg. I'm on the other end of that. I'm reading everything. I'm responding all the time. I was responding all day to stuff and sending out emails to people.
You didn't have lunch, man.
No,
You gotta
I
eat,
threw
dude.
some sushi in my mouth before we
You
started
gotta
filming.
take care of yourself, dude.
I'm trying, man. That's
God
why I have an
damn it.
amazing girlfriend who feeds
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Seriously.
She's very
Thank you for
kind to go give
keeping
me
Adam
food.
alive.
She's not even
Emily.
listening to us
She
right now.
didn't come along,
She
you'd be
cannot
dead.
hear us.
You would be dead.
You would have
dead.
died. You would have died right
But
before you met
we're
us.
super, super excited about the Patreon. I know a lot of
Yeah.
you guys always ask us, when are you going to react to something? When are you going to react to something? Everyone here has day jobs. Everyone
Yeah.
here is doing multiple projects. We can't be in the same room as soon as a trailer drops. But if we continue to grow Patreon, bring in more
we can
people,
do this, yeah.
we can eventually turn this into something a little bit more than what it is now,
Yeah.
where we can free up more time and do things in a more timely manner.
Right.
That's really the goal with the Patreon. Aside from unlocking all the goals that we want to do, you know, like the new podcast, the new shows, all this stuff. We have ideas for so much stuff.
Yeah.
Part of that is to actually allow us to be able to do things in a timelier manner. So if you guys jump on the Patreon, I'm not going to tell you what tier you should join, But give it a look, and if
Yeah.
you have suggestions, like we're happy to hear suggestions for what
Yeah.
you guys think about it.
Yeah.
We want to be very open and communicative. I'm on Patreon all day. It's literally just an open tab on my browser, and I'm just in there like talking to people, responding to people. I'm in Discord. You get Discord access with a lot of those Patreon tiers. So give it a look. There's a lot of really cool stuff. We worked really hard to try to make sure that it's something that we think you guys would enjoy and something that excites us. All the goals are things that like we really want to do. We would
Yeah.
never make a goal for something that we're like,
Yeah.
this could be cool. This might rope in people. Like, no, if we're going to spend time doing commentaries on movies,
Yep.
we want to do it for movies that we like love.
Absolutely.
If we're
And
gonna
we
do
love doing them.
If we're
Yeah.
going to do a podcast on a comic book series, it's
Totally.
going to be my favorite comic book series.
Of
ever.
all
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's good.
Exactly. And
good.
we have on paper like a rough timeline of like when we would hope to hit these goals.
Yeah.
But right now we just want to get the word out there. So if you do join the Patreon or you find a tier that you love, spread it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, just any sort of social media, even on other YouTube channels. Like let them know like, hey, we have a Patreon, we're doing it.
Tell the other homies to come
tell
over
the other
here and
homies.
be homies. Yeah.
We literally have a freaking tier called Hyper Homies.
Yeah.
Let's get everyone in there. But we're really,
Everybody
really
needs to be a
excited.
homie.
And everyone who stuck around while the Patreon was down, while we were moving and rebranding and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for supporting us. A lot of people just stuck around for no reason other than that they believed in us and they had faith in us that we
That's
would
so
come
cool.
back.
Those are
and
the
bring
real
something
homies
really,
right there. Those
bring
are the
back something really
real
cool. So
homies.
thank you guys so much. And we're going to continue just chugging along, doing all this stuff and really working and communicating with you guys and just bringing you guys passionate shit that we love to make because there's no other reason to do this.
That's what we do.
That's what we
That's
do,
all we
baby.
bring. That's all we bring. It's
I
just
love that
passion.
we call our friends homies. I
Hyper
love
homies,
that.
man.
I
I love that.
That's
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 the
it.
best.
That's
I mean,
it.
it's
That makes
the
me
best.
happy.
It's the best.
I got to give a shout out though to the person who gave me that idea. Was my buddy Christian.
oh,
I think
yeah?
you guys know Christian.
Yeah.
He the first time he called me a hyper homie, I was like, why have we not used this before?
What have we
I'm
done?
such an idiot, and so all the credit goes to Christian. And he's like, yeah,
It's
use
the
it on
best.
use it on the show, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
So,
the
yeah.
best. So and you know, whenever there's new updates or anything, we'll keep you guys updated as quick as we can about things that are going to change. But just go ahead, go check it out. I think you're going to love it. And hit us up on social media if you do end up joining. We have a really cool tier called the Bonjoro tier. It's $35, or sorry, it's $25. If you join that, one of us will send you a personalized video message.
Yes, sir.
We were testing it.
Bonjoro?
Yeah, we were testing it a couple months
Yeah,
ago.
remember we were testing it that video
Oh
chatting.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah,
that's what it's
So
called.
I've been sending them out. There's a lot of people who have been actually moving from $5 tiers to $10 to $35 tiers.
Yeah.
So I've been sending those out. And it's a lot of fun because, you know, we can communicate with you guys one-on-one. And the big push for me was like, cool, I want to make sure that I give someone something valuable every time I record something.
Cool.
Or something insightful. So I'm really excited to do those. And just look at the goals. There's a lot of stuff on there. But thank you guys so much for your support. And we can't wait to keep making more content.
Yeah.
Also, if you are listening to us on the podcast, hello. You can't see me waving, but hello. Jump over to YouTube, youtube.com/hyperrpg. You can watch us every single, I almost said live. You can watch us every single week. If you don't know, the podcast is available. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify. It's literally all over the place. The only thing I ask, if you are listening on any platform, leave a comment, leave a like. The more comments and the more feedback that we
that
get, the more ratings that we get,
Yeah.
it climbs up the charts. Let's get more people. Let's get more hyper homies in here.
Helpful. That's helpful.
It's super, super helpful. So just search Hyper Heroes and you should be able to find it on any platform. And if it's not there, tell me and I'll add it. I'm out of breath.
Okay, that was a lot, man.
That was a
Calm
lot
down
of
for a
information.
second. Next
I know.
up, first look, Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian, and Naomi Acker as Jana.
Yeah,
Jaina.
Jaina with like a Y, but not
I
spelled
think
with
it's
a
like
Y.
Hannah, but Jana.
Jana.
Yeah.
Like Hannah, Jana. People
Hannah,
are already
Jana.
saying, is
Hope
Jana, is she Lando's daughter?
She looks
Yeah.
dope.
Is
First of
every
all,
Super
black
dope.
person in the galaxy far, far away related?
Yeah.
That's what
All of a sudden we're
immediately
gonna
everyone's
find
like,
Finn and Lando are related too.
I like
They're
her
related.
answer
Yeah.
where she was like, "Hey, Lando is a very charming person, and he's
probably
gonna
got
have
kids
children
all over the
all
galaxy.
over the
That's
galaxy."
actually true.
Yeah,
All kinds
I
of
mean,
aliens.
I'm sure he's got all kinds of babies.
He's fucked robot ladies.
all kinds of baby mamas, like half
Oh, that's
android.
right. What was the
Yeah.
robot in Han Solo?
Oh my
Solo
God.
Star Wars story?
L something? L5? Johnny 5 is alive.
Johnny
That's
Five,
what that's-
Johnny Five alive.
Sorry,
You're
I had to
thinking
take a
of
big old
Wally.
drink.
It was Wally. The name
Yeah,
of
it
the
was
robot.
Wally.
No, they definitely had sex, and then they put her brain into the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
sad.
100%. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Star Wars Celebration is happening in Chicago. The
Yeah.
episode 9 panel happened today. You're watching this on Saturday. It happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We just got together. We did the trailer reaction, but we kind of talked about this stuff in the trailer, so we're not necessarily going to go into it in great detail. But the biggest takeaway for me personally, other than seeing Lando again looking suave as farts,
Amazing.
good old
He's like
Colt
83.
45. He's
all the
amazing,
farts, yeah.
man.
Amazing.
Like Billy D. Williams came out there and he had nothing but beautiful things to say about the character of Lando Calrissian. Being in the Star Wars movies, J.J. Abrams as a director, it made me super excited to see Lando on screen again. Like, I didn't even need to see Lando in the trailer.
Yeah.
Just seeing Billy D was exciting enough for me to go
he was like,
where have you been, man?
He was emitting so many good vibes. It was just
cool.
seeing him on
Yeah.
screen was just, and seeing him legitimately happy to
Totally.
be there and play this character again felt very good to me, and to me speaks volumes about what they're doing in this movie.
And having him on Star Wars Rebels was such a treat.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I watched that episode because
So
I watched
good.
season 1. That was
So
great.
good.
Really cool.
So good.
Also, my friend Kyle Anderson over at Nerdist let everybody know today, reminded him, the D stands for December. So this man's name is literally William December Williams.
Really?
It's awesome.
That's dope.
what?
His name is Billy William.
Yes,
William
I know,
December
but
Williams.
December.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder.
Whoa.
Now I need to go
And
watch
now
every
he's-
interview with
and
Billy
now
D.
he's like cooler somehow than he was before.
How is that?
Because it's like the coolest name.
William
It is
December Williams.
William
and he's
December
like,
Williams,
yeah,
and
that's
he's
right.
like, you can call me Billy D. And you're like,
Billy
God
D.
damn, that's so
That's
cool.
so cool.
Fuck.
Which a name that could
I realize how much of a
potentially-
loser I am now.
Oh,
Yeah.
a name that could potentially be brutal for you growing
Yeah.
up as a
Yeah.
suave ass 80-year-old. You're like Billy D, homie.
Yeah, some kids
You
out
call
on the
me
playground.
Billy D.
Hey, it's William December. And he was like, call me Billy D.
Yeah.
7 years old.
He turned 18, and all of
God.
a sudden, I'm Billy D.
I'm
And everyone
Billy
went,
D.
let me take my
dude,
panties off.
5 years old. He's like, hey, everybody.
Just call
Who's
me
on
Billy
the
D.
Who's on the jungle gym?
Who
Who's
wants
on
a
the monkey bars?
5-year-old who wants a refreshing Colt 45?
What's a refreshing? Hey, who's up next on the slide? Your name's William December.
Call me
Billy D.
Billy D, baby.
It's
Billy
the
D,
coolest. Anyway, they didn't talk about any of
that's how
that
much-
on the
That's
panel.
how much
but
we love Billy D. Williams.
love him.
Naomi Acker is Jana. We didn't get a whole lot of details about that character. They were making jokes about who she could be related to.
But I'm excited
But
she's
I'm
in it.
Yeah, I'm excited
cool.
to see a new character. I always love seeing a new character come into like the final movie.
Yeah.
and seeing like
Yeah.
how big of an impact they will have.
Just like Peter Dinklage in Infinity War. Like Infinity War is like everything, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden Peter Dinklage,
You're
you're like,
like,
yeah.
You're like, yes, and he's
Cool.
playing a giant.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's
That's right.
amazing.
So
oh,
great.
it's so good. But yeah, I'm really excited to see a lot of the photos that they showed throughout the panel were great. It was great to see the new cast with characters like 3PO, R2, BB-8, Dio, Chewie, and one of the highlights for me was when JJ said that the exciting thing for him was to tell a story where all of these new characters are going on an adventure finally together. Because it didn't happen in episode 7 and 8. They were all doing their own things, and then they would reconvene at like a certain point. Poe didn't meet Rey until the end of the last movie. So I'm excited to see these characters sort of like what's been the evolution of their relationships, because we know there's a passage of time. We just don't know how much.
How long do you think it is?
I don't know.
I'm putting my money
I
on.
feel like 3 years, 3 to
You
4,
think
3
3
to
years?
5 years. Yeah.
I'm putting my money on. How long was it between A New Hope and Empire? A year?
It was 2
Or
years, I think.
2 years?
Jedi and Empire was 6 months, I think.
6 months? I'm
Yeah.
putting my money on. I'll say 1 year. I
Okay.
think 1 year will have passed. What do you
The
think?
way they were talking about on the panel,
Yeah.
I would say 5+ years.
5+?
5+ years.
Get the
yeah.
fart out,
Yeah.
really?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I know. It's a
Dang.
lot, but that's the vibe I got from
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay.
That's
It's all
exciting.
speculation. It's all speculation on my end.
I've
Think
always-
about how confident Ray looks.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, I
she's
know.
a whole different person.
And she's been reading those books and like,
Yeah.
page turners, they
and-
are not.
And Luke Skywalker's been talking in her
Yeah.
ear. Like I'm
He's
sure
been Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm sure Yoda has been talking in her ear.
Yeah.
She's gotten all the knowledge from all these amazing Jedi that are Force ghosts
exactly,
at this point.
Exactly. And maybe,
Excited.
Daisy Ridley did say, I believe she said, I could be wrong. She may have only been addressing a topless Kylo Ren, but I believe she did say that those two characters will not have any like Force connections in this movie. I could be wrong though. She may have only been addressing naked Kylo.
His being shirtless.
Yeah, she said that we would not see any more naked
Okay,
Kylo.
so there is
I
a potential
think-
that there
I
might
think.
be more of those connections
That was a
happening.
big joke, though.
And then
Definitely.
that'll be fun to see how Luke plays into that, if that does happen, like you're
Dude.
saying, Yoda. And then there's the title. They revealed the title, The Rise of Skywalker.
Interesting.
Somewhat, no, I don't want to say controversial,
It's not
but
controversial.
questionable. Like, why
It's-
this title?
We talked about it.
We did.
We were just discussing. I mean, even right after our trailer reaction, Zach was here. We're all talking about it, and we're all really hopeful about it. All right, but we feel that it could also. It just feels a little bit like I don't want to say betrayal, but a different direction than the direction that was happening with the story and the themes of The Last Jedi. And now we're sort of reverting to the standbys, the familial relationships, those characters, and especially with the Emperor laugh at the end, and and the Death Star again, and even though these are things that are constantly within Star Wars, The Last Jedi, at least for me, felt really like they were proving Rey is from nowhere. She can be from nowhere. This world is for everyone. Everybody has a seat at the table. Anybody can be the hero of their own story. In fact, we're going to nail it over the head with you with Broom Kid at the end. That's what this is about. It's sort of like like all of this potential.
It's blowing the world out.
Exactly. And then we come back to this, and it's like the Skywalkers, and you're like, okay, we were saying, Zach was saying, he goes, I thought we were done with Skywalkers. So
that's what I'm hoping.
That's what we're feeling.
And my thought, just as you were explaining that, Hector, and I expressed this earlier, is that I hope Skywalker is a level that you attain.
A lot of people are saying that.
I'm actually hoping that Skywalker is a term kind of like. So we had the term Jedi for a long time.
Yeah.
But maybe Skywalker is going to be the new
Jedi.
order of that term. Like. Now, just like when you became a samurai in Japan, you are a samurai now. Like that name carries a certain significance, and from the beginning, Japanese mythology has been a big part of the Star Wars mythos overall.
Yeah.
And so I have a feeling that is going to be a level you ascend to, rather than like a physical rise of like the Skywalkers will always dominate everything everywhere.
I've seen similar conversations to that online where people are like, we hope it's not literal. We hope it's this. It's
a metaphor.
A metaphor.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that is how you do justice to these three movies. It's about legacy. Star Wars is always about legacy, but also being the hero of your own story.
Does she want to share her theory on the internet, or is she playing that close
come
to
sneak
the chest?
this. Come sneak this.
As she
what happened?
As she crawls under the
She's
light.
trying not to destroy our lighting, our beautiful lighting.
Hey, what's up, homies? Okay, right, nice. Hello, welcome to the special ASMR portion of the show. All right.
This is not a Patreon tier.
So yeah, theory. You look at the three final movies of each trilogy.
Revenge of
the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Rise of the Skywalker. Verb, specific noun, like identifier. Verb, revenge, Sith. Return, Jedi. Rise, Skywalker. I think this new line of Jedi, like you said, Broom Kid. I think they're all going to be named. I think Jedi, because we saw the Last Jedi.
Right.
That was the Last Jedi. This is the first Skywalker. It's going to be a new. I think too. I'm just thinking about this on the spot. I think maybe Rey will embrace that it is about balance. It isn't just about light and
good
it
and
isn't
bad.
Complete darkness. It's everybody has a balance.
I can't wait to have you on to review this movie.
Beautiful.
And to come back to this theory and be like, God damn it, she was right.
And then just that term of Skywalker, a Jedi could technically fly and walk in the sky.
This shit's getting real deep, bro.
That's true.
For real. Good job, Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. And they can walk in the sky, you guys.
They're literally Skywalkers, bro.
In the sky.
Oh, shit.
They'll shoot lasers out of their eyes.
Well, actually, now that you bring that up, what's funny about the panel is JJ actually said you may see this character do something that they've never done before, and I'm like,
new powers.
Fucking powers. I mean, look,
sky floating.
You don't have all the books, all those Jedi history books, and like not unlock something new.
Exactly.
You're not going to be lifting
Chapter
lightsabers.
10, walking on the sky.
Walking in the sky. Whoa.
Jumping from cloud to cloud.
We could do this.
Creating portals with your hands. Is this the Doctor Strange manual? What the fuck is this?
Exactly. So we're going to see some cool shit.
Also,
guys.
we've got a couple questions from Patreon. First of all, thank you so much to Amy Voss for becoming a hyper homie in the $5 tier. Hey guys, love the show. I look forward to watching every single week. My question is about Star Wars. Perfect. What things, plot lines, or characters do you think have been underserved in the new Star Wars trilogy so far that you believe can be improved upon or fixed in Episode 9? For me, it is exactly what JJ is doing. It is taking all of the new characters and sending them off on their first adventure together. I love Poe Dameron. I love Finn. I love Rey. I've even come to love Rose and all the other new characters that they introduced in the second movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see these characters go off on an adventure on their own with no Leia, no Luke, no Han. The impact that those characters have had, Luke on Rey, Leia on Poe.
Yeah.
And And just the Resistance and the First Order and the circumstances, what those things have done to Finn as a character.
Han Solo on Finn.
And Han Solo on Finn even. And sort of him coming to terms, because John Boyega talked about at the panel, he said, you know, it might sound silly, but even the costume, like me having my own costume, custom-made costume that is Finn's suit.
Right.
It is not.
He said he finally felt like he was in Star Wars.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it took 3 movies to get there. So those are the elements that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't feel let down by a lot at this point. To me, it's just kind of picking and choosing, like real splitting hairs type of situation. So I can't really complain about much because I'm so. My perspective on this, like I'm so open to change and open to new things coming into this universe.
Sure.
That anything you throw at me at this point, I'm like, yeah, run with that.
You're kind of there for the adventure.
Run with this too. Just like, I'm hoping that. And this is all speculation that they do close out that that Skywalker trilogy, that Skywalker arc, and then move on to the next thing. So
to the new stuff.
I don't know if that's underserving or overserving something, but yeah.
I think I'm in the same boat as you, Augustine, where it's like I'm hesitant to say stuff needs to be like improved upon or fixed because I feel like each of these movies did what it set out to do, and so did Solo, and so did Rogue One. And I feel that Star Wars movies, even though we've been getting one a year for the past, since 2015,
yeah,
4 years. This will be the 4th one.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though we get one a year, they're not Marvel movies, and even Marvel movies. I've seen a lot of criticism. Patrick Wilhelm on YouTube has a great series about the limitations of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One of his big things is like the comic books that come out once a month are able to fill in storylines. The Marvel movies, perfect example. I think he's totally right on this. The best example is Bucky is underserved. He becomes a plot point in the movies versus like a character.
A fleshed out
and
character.
And he talks about like certain comic like miniseries of like, all right, let's flesh out Winter Soldier. So that it's like you get that and then you go back to like the event and you're like, oh, this is what he's going through. So one of the criticisms I got that he was talking about was like, there's just not enough stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, that's like champagne problems. That's that all of these characters in the Marvel movies and you're like, yeah, but this one,
exactly.
And now Disney Plus, which we're going to talk about, like him and Falcon are getting so he's been talking about the Vision Wanda Maximoff romance. Some people were like not feeling it for when all of a sudden they're together in Infinity War. Well, now they're getting a so I'm hesitant to say I need more of something because even though one movie a year, I also know there's tons of Star Wars books. I've read a couple.
Exactly.
There's comics. Like I love Poe Dameron. And I know I'm like, if I want more Poe, I could just read his awesome Marvel comic series, which I haven't gone and done all of it yet really, but like it's there. And so I'm not, I don't expect these are 2-hour movies once a year.
Right.
That are trying to do a lot of different stuff and juggle a lot of characters versus Marvel movies are 3 a year.
Yeah.
So if I'm watching a Marvel movie like Ant-Man and I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but what's up with Thanos? At the end they address it. They get that momentum that these movies it's different. It's more hype for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I think I'm in the same boat as you, Augustine. Like I'm not, I don't look at them and go, oh, I wish they did this because if I do. There's so much other stuff. Dude, we're getting Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
Like, show. Get the fuck out. I'm set, dude. He's one of my favorite characters. He's in one movie, and even when he was in one movie and died, I was still like, that's my dude. I love this movie. I'm a happy camper. I know why he had to die. Like I get this movie, and now they're gonna do a show and The Mandalorian. Like
that looks so
dope.
If
I'm being honest, there should be more Taika Waititi in Star Wars. Guess what? The Mandalorian. Like, okay. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I
set.
have nothing to complain about.
Second question from Michael Morgan. Do you think that maybe Leia adopts Rey, making her a Skywalker? Also, any chance that Star Wars will want to top Endgame and make Episode 9 3 hours and 9 minutes?
I think that's what's going to happen.
That's what should happen.
That's funny.
We already kind of talked about sort of the idea of what it means, what the title sort of implicates, Rise of Skywalker.
But I like that. It could be that. It could be we've mentioned this too.
I think
an
it's
adopted
going to be
thing.
the other way around, where Rey decides that I am going to adopt this name.
I don't hate that idea. Like that. Could
the
be
message and the meaning also.
Yes,
of what
exactly.
it means.
Because she's deciding her own future at this point.
And again, people have been pointing this out too online. I've seen past couple days. The moment in The Last Jedi at the end where the kids are talking about. Skywalker in an alien language. Luke. First Order. Like that's somebody said that's characters in Star Wars playing Star Wars is the most Star Wars thing ever.
Absolutely.
But they're going to talk about Rey in that same way, and for her to go to take on and be like, I'm Rey Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's like. That could be dope.
One of my favorite moments in episode 6 is when 3PO is telling the history of what's happening.
Oh,
to the
absolutely.
Ewoks.
Yeah.
I love that. And he's doing the sound effects, and like it's great. It's super, super good.
Is that where they were playing that song Jub Jub too in the background?
Yeah, well, that was in the original ending of
Oh,
Return
okay,
of the Jedi. I love Yub Nub.
Thanks for the questions.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the questions. Really appreciate it. Let's move on to Disney Plus.
This is so
because
insane.
Holy shenanigans.
This is really insane.
This was an investors call that happened yesterday.
Damn.
It was available to watch online. I watched a lot of it. I was also simultaneously getting text messages from somebody who was updating me constantly about it, and they were like, "I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this because I think this is only for employees." I'm like, "Well, good thing it's on social media and people are watching it.
Yeah,
you should be fine."
Yeah.
I just won't say anything.
You'll be all right.
But Disney Plus did announce a whole plethora of things. One of them being that they will officially be launching November 12th.
Tight.
The service will be available for $6.99 a month.
Nice.
Or $69.99 a year.
I would do that.
Which comes out to $5.83 a month.
Nice.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Let's just address this first question from Eric Portney, who asks, the Disney Plus price point seems like a direct attack on Netflix being half the price.
Yeah.
Will this cause Netflix to lower its subscription price, and if so, will it have an impact on how ambitious future Netflix genre projects can be?
I don't think so. I think that
Kaiju is really mad about this.
Kaijo's upset.
Kaiju's like
Kaijo.
Netflix.
Kaijo. I just call him Kaijo.
Kaijo?
Kaijo.
Like Cujo?
Sorry, yeah.
That would be his middle name.
I know, right?
I think Netflix will ultimately be fine.
Yeah.
Everybody's so hyped on this, and you should be. But everything that they mentioned still pales in comparison to everything that Netflix offers.
Absolutely.
We're forgetting. It's just that we all
they
happen to
built.
love every single thing that Disney Plus announced.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
I mean, they said like 200 Disney Channel original movies,
Right.
and everybody our age was like, oh, and they pooped their pants. But like, really, are you going to sit there and watch Halloween Town 2? It's
No,
like that's not.
no, I'm not gonna watch any of those.
That's not a competitor. You will, but that's not. You know, that's
Well,
not
plus
gonna-
also like you got to look at like the bigger picture. Disney is and like Netflix is a
yeah.
gigantic company. Like
Yes.
Netflix has blown up
Yes.
ever since it's been doing all these original things.
Yeah.
But Disney's Disney.
Yeah.
Disney can afford to make it $6.99 a
Yeah.
month.
Right.
One, because like they want everybody and their grandmother and their
Yeah.
great grandmother
Right,
and their
right.
great grandchildren to have this thing. So the only way you're gonna get it in literally every single person's home is to make it as affordable as possible.
But, and I think that
Right.
this is worth it because, again, it's not as much stuff at launch day as Netflix has. Netflix has had a years-long head start.
Yeah.
This is all specific to Disney stuff, and Netflix has so many different brands on top of their original stuff, which they built up over
Exactly.
years.
Right. So
You
many
know,
deals with so
Stranger
many different
Things
studios.
and their Marvel Netflix stuff and Haunting of Hill House, those kinds of things. that
They
make
are
these
buying the Egyptian theater as well.
Netflix
Here.
is?
Yeah, Netflix. is
Ooh.
Yeah,
buying
there are
the Egyptian
negotiations
theater.
there are negotiations to buy it from America's Cinematheque,
Yeah.
and there's been a lot of controversy about this, but based on the article I read, it's basically to help American Cinematheque keep it running.
Okay.
And Netflix will apparently use the space
I hope
for
so,
their
man.
own premieres,
Exactly.
to premiere
It's
to like
brilliant.
debut their new stuff,
But keep it
But they
running.
want to let American Cinematheque like run everything else and
I
let
hope
it
so.
be what it always
It's
has
gonna
been.
be what El Cap does with Disney.
With Disney, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
El
Which
Cap
Which if
is
that's
a-
the case, like I'm fine with it because I
Sure.
love that theater and I love seeing movies there. I
Right.
don't want to turn to something that like it shouldn't be.
Right, El Cap is still El Cap.
Yeah.
But it's got that Disney store right next
Yeah,
door.
it
Like you
does.
walk through the
Yeah.
just like you do at Disneyland.
Oh,
you
it's
walk through
mini
the gift shop
Disneyland.
right
Yeah.
after. But I think it's freaking brilliant that they're doing this and buying their theater, and now
Yeah.
they have the theater presence where they can show their movies,
Yeah.
whatever they want to show. So this is the battle of two giant Megazords going at each other.
It's
at
the
this point.
Megazord and the Dragonzord.
Right, exactly. It's like the newcomer versus the old grizzled original Dragonzord or
yeah.
original Megazord, and it's
Yeah.
just like I feel like we have so many varied options in a streaming service at this point that
Yeah.
anybody could have taken off next to Netflix, but
Yeah.
they haven't really. And now Disney comes along with this capacity.
Yeah.
I feel just like with anything else, competition is good for all of us. Like
Plus, I think also like you look at what Netflix is making in terms of its original content.
right.
Disney is making stuff that is sort of for all ages. You look at all the stuff that, aside from Marvel and Star Wars, like
It's family.
the National
entertainment.
Geographic stuff,
Yeah.
the Jeff Goldblum series,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's all stuff that is meant to be for all ages.
Right.
I don't think you're going to see a lot of. I would say The Simpsons is maybe the most edgiest thing
but they also
might
featured
put on there.
Deadpool right in the front of like the big announcement. Remember when they
But
announced
I don't think Deadpool's going to be on the streaming service.
Right. Well, he probably won't be. He probably won't be. But there's a possibility that something like that could
it's
happen.
very possible.
But to me, one of my favorite Netflix shows is Queer Eye. Like, I don't know if Disney would do a show like Queer Eye.
That's okay. I'll still watch on Netflix all day.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, there's gonna be things
and they have
that
shows
Disney,
for adults.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. So there's gonna be things that we are not going to be able to get from Disney.
Exactly.
Unless they figured out some deal with Fox where they have a different distribution company.
And then it's like Alien and Predators on there.
Or they push all that shit to Hulu because they got a huge stake in Hulu as well.
60%
so
stake,
we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
I don't think, I don't know people that don't have Netflix yet that are on the fence and we're waiting for today to be like, oh, okay, now that I know, I'm going to get Disney Plus. It's if you don't have Netflix, then you're like our moms and dads or something, and you don't, like, you're of a different.
Yo, my mama got Netflix.
Exactly.
I use it.
So does my mom. But so I don't think that's going to happen. And I also don't see people straight up dropping Netflix to get Disney Plus launch day. Because if people that have Netflix now, they have it, they use it.
Right.
Totally.
And they're also going to feel left out if they just drop everything. I feel like other things like Amazon Prime, Hulu, CBS All Access, DC Universe, those are the kind of the ones that are sort of honestly a little bit in trouble. And even with DC, like, again, I think this is a fantastic price point. This is something that is, like, DC Universe, I think, is also safe because, at least for me, like, that's a specific thing. It's very niche. It's very niche, and, like, I'm loving what I'm getting from it.
It's like the Criterion channel.
Exactly, which is, like, people that are going to get that, they're not going to get it and expect shows like Queer Eye and, you know, Tidying Up with Marie Kondo and all these different things. It's like, you know what you're getting.
Totally.
But Disney is trying to be that. But it is like the family-friendly sort of streaming thing.
And I think one thing against your Amazon point, I think the one thing that they have going for them is because of the fact that they are Amazon.
Exactly.
And it's like if you have bought into the Amazon Prime subscription and you just get Amazon Prime Video,
well, listen, I'll be real. I have CBS All Access because I'm a huge Trekkie, and I've been digging Twilight Zone, and I'll occasionally watch old-ass episodes of Mission Impossible, the TV show. I might drop CBS All Access in the in-between seasons of Star Trek
to get
do this for a month.
For sure.
You know, like, I might
and
do
if there's
that,
a free trial, then it's like...
But at this point, I'm never getting rid of DC Universe or Netflix.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have all, for a while, been used to the idea of no cable.
Totally.
If you're watching this right now and you have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and cable, what are you doing? Like, get rid of
Trust
cable.
me, man. When I go home and mom's like, "Why do we have this cable?" I'm like, "Cancel it! What are you doing?"
Yeah. That's the thing. That's like cable companies, the ones that fucked up.
Also,
years ago.
Amir and I were talking about. He made a good point. It's like he's like, I don't know if I necessarily need it or want it, but I want to get in because let's say in 6 to 12 months, Disney's like, well, we're now offloading 20,000 more things. We're gonna go to $12.99.
Yep.
I want to be grandfathered into that baby price of $6.99.
Well, I remember first joining Netflix's streaming service. It was $8.99 when I first joined. Now it's up to what, like $13?
I think it's like 12, 13
It's
bucks.
like 12, 13 bucks, right? So it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, let's move on because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
So yeah, let's kind of go through and we'll go. We're basically just going to cover Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios.
Okay.
And then we got a couple questions. So at launch on day one, we're going to have all of the Star Wars films and The Mandalorian will debut on Disney Plus. They didn't say how many.
And the Christmas special?
I think they did say the Christmas special.
Oh,
damn.
I think. I could be wrong.
Wow.
It may not be there on launch, but
And the
I would
Ewok
imagine
movies?
I would imagine it would
movies?
be there at some point.
Okay.
And for The Mandalorian, they didn't say how many episodes, but they did say the first episodes.
Okay.
Whatever that means. It could be the first two, first three, I don't know.
Probably.
And the next, Alan Tudyk is officially joining Diego Luna for the Cassian Andor spinoff.
And he tweeted, Cassian said I had to.
It was so good. It was so good. And that's going to be coming out in year 2. So basically the way they broke it up was D1 is day 1, year 1 is 2019, 2020. So basically from launch day all the way until I think September or November next year. And then 2020 and 2021 will be year 2.
Dope.
So this will debut sometime, I would imagine, the fall of 2020.
Right.
And then obviously Star Wars, The Clone Wars is returning in year 2 with brand new episodes.
Amazing.
That's great.
We're going to see more
can't
Ahsoka
wait.
Tana?
Yeah.
Dude, come
the
on.
Lost Emissions, are you kidding me? That's going to be super
so
exciting.
excited.
So all the Star Wars stuff that they announced, I'm really excited to see. There were also some rumblings that I was reading today on /Film that Lucasfilm may actually be in the process of doing 4K restorations now that they officially have Star Wars A New Hope. And it's very possible that they might be sourcing it from the original negative.
Wow.
Which means that we may possibly, hopefully, get the original trilogy on Disney Plus.
Probably.
Which, like,
That's
who's gonna say no at that
George
point?
Lucas has been hiding that in his butt crack for decades.
He's like, the film you were looking for?
Sorry, guys, I didn't know that was there.
I guess you can restore
real
it now.
quick, are they going to bring the original Disney animations back? So the shorts that they did, like the Golden Collection that they used to have.
I don't know. There's a whole list of stuff that they're going to debut. They're
That's what I
debuting like
want.
over
Those would be great.
5,000 pieces of content.
The ones
I
where
think.
Donald Duck fights Adolf Hitler and
Yeah,
stuff.
like
the
all
war
that old
years.
stuff. I
Yeah.
remember one back in the day where Donald Duck goes camping.
Yeah.
And he has like this camper that like is running behind his goofy little car, and like it pops up, and like all the like stuff never goes right in his house. So it's all those old cartoons that I
Those
want
might
to
be on
watch.
there.
I
Those might be
really
on there.
really hope that'd
That'd be
if
really cool.
that if they announce that, I'm most definitely getting
It's
this.
so crazy to me that the fucking Simpsons is going to be on there. The
I
first
know.
30 years.
30
I know.
That's
seasons
nuts.
of The Simpsons.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
crazy.
I'm really into that, but I also feel like, okay, they will never make Blu-rays of those sets now, like because there's a whole bunch of years of The Simpsons missing.
true.
They
Oh,
went up to
really?
like season 17 or 16,
that was it?
and then they stopped. But the year after season 20 premiered, which was the year that the movie came out, they
started
put
again.
season 20 on Blu-ray. So Blu-ray collectors have
What
a
the
gap
hell?
of a couple of years.
That's odd.
But
And
they're
then just like a
available
giant
digitally.
gap
They're on
after that.
iTunes. They're whatever. But and then it's season 21 to
But
now.
honestly,
it's like,
though, are we missing anything?
but here's
in
the
those
deal.
3 missing seasons.
Here's what's cool with this. People can actually now go back and I know it was
True,
on like an
true.
FXX for a
Yeah.
while or
Yeah.
whatever. But like if you have Disney Plus, don't tell me you're not going to be like, I'll watch some old Simpsons, and before you know it,
100%.
you'll be
You're
like,
going
damn, I'm in
through.
season 9.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're like, hey, you know what, season
seeing
13 is
20.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, and before you know it, you're like, I'm caught up. I'm ready
Yeah.
to. I've seen
I'm ready
every
to attack
episode.
this new season.
I've seen all
I've
3,000
seen,
episodes.
yeah, 3,000 episodes of The
Oh my
Simpsons.
God, that's
Put
insane.
Futurama on there. Let's
right.
go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Disenchantment. Pull it from Netflix. Put it on there.
Yeah,
right,
and a lot of stuff. They also did mention, there are certain things that will not be showing up day one or year one, mostly because those things already have distribution deals with other services.
Same thing with DC
So,
Universe.
exactly.
People were like, "Where's Justice
Where's
League?"
Arrow?
It's like,
Where's all this stuff? Yeah,
those-
it'll be
those
on
are
there
other
eventually.
places.
Exactly.
Calm down. It'll be
Also, the Mandalorian panel is happening, I believe, on Sunday. So if you're watching this on Saturday, it's
cool.
happening tomorrow. That's where we're going to get our first look at the Mandalorian. So expect some sort of a video to manifest itself on this channel, doing a trailer reaction.
exciting.
Now, let's jump over to Marvel Studios because there's a lot of exciting stuff here as well. Some things that we've been hearing about through sort of the grapevine of all these news outlets. Kevin Feige came on stage and finally did confirm a few. They did announce that select titles, including Captain Marvel, will debut day one.
Select titles.
Some of those movies include Iron Man, I think Thor Ragnarok, and Thor the Dark World.
Here's why I don't care. I have them all on Blu-ray. It's fine.
Yes.
Next, I don't care.
That's exactly how I felt too. I was like,
okay.
that's okay, whatever.
Like, I've been watching these forever. What are you
I've
talking
watched them
about?
15 times.
I
It's all
have
good.
no patience for people that are like, oh, where are they? I can't find them online. I've literally
Go buy
like,
the goddamn Blu-ray.
you've had 10 years to
Collect
slowly
them.
collect these. That's on you. Don't care. Next.
And then this was basically confirmed previously, but the new Loki series with Tom Hiddleston and the new What If animated series will both debut year one, not day one,
Okay.
year one. The What If series sounds like an incredible concept.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yes.
super pumped about this. I will say, as excited
Fist pumping over there.
as excited as I am about the fact that it's going to be animated,
Yeah.
part of me does wish that it was live action.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of like the Marvel one-shots.
For sure. Oh, totally. But
To see
but
Peggy Carter as Captain America.
It's a win-win for me. But I
Exactly.
totally get that idea of
Yeah.
like, man, it would have been great if y'all had the budget and did the one-shots and did this live action to really get it to feel like. Because remember we talked about Elseworlds. If they ever did Superman Red Sun,
Right.
how amazing it would be to get Henry Cavill to play
Exactly.
that iteration of the character. But I think it's best of both worlds because we're getting those actors be the voices,
Right.
which is still super special.
Right.
Totally.
Haley Atwell, Chris Evans.
have no complaints
and
there.
it's also exciting because it means it will hopefully mean we get more of them. They're less concerned with the budget because animation theoretically has an unlimited budget, but not really. But there's still a budget
No,
within
it-
animation.
yeah, you're right.
But theoretically, you could you
Yeah.
could do
You could do anything.
anything
Yeah.
without having to be like, okay, we got to do
Well,
green
this
screen
actor's
and
not
CG.
available.
It
Yeah.
needs it needs to look
Yeah.
real. It needs to do
It's
this.
not the right season.
But it's exciting for animation, period. Marvel animation is a real up and down thing for me. I love some. I really dislike some.
Yep.
But to have this be that closely related to the MCU is cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to again, it's like they could do the mind is spinning. You could do different stylistic things with different like aspects.
Feature different animation
genres,
directors,
yes.
different genres,
Because
different styles.
Just like we talked about in the last time.
Just like because like
Very
the movies,
Animatrix.
Ant-Man is heist.
Yeah.
And Thor is supposed to be, now it's
Lord of the
space
Rings
comedy,
fans,
but Lord of the
sure,
Rings,
yeah.
and Iron Man's techno thriller, and Cap is political, and all these different genres. Well, what if they took out a step further and like literally went animation styles, like Animatrix,
Exactly.
just like you said, Augustine. So like it's exciting.
Captain
and
America in the style of The Incredibles, directed by Brad Bird.
That would be
Yes,
amazing.
please.
It also brings it back to the comics because
Yeah.
What If is such a great, unique, and cool. Well, I don't want to say unique because DC does similar stuff, but it's
Yeah.
different with
I mean,
Elseworlds.
Elseworlds is that, yeah.
But they do like graphic novels or like
Right,
whatever. But what if is like this great series? They have different series of what if Wolverine got stuck in Conan the Barbarian times
Yeah,
and had
yeah.
to and had to fight Conan, like, and just to bring it back to that comic book level.
Right.
And to have it animated, like
Right.
it's super exciting. I'm hoping it's all hand drawn. As much as I love my Spider-Verse, my CG, as much as Incredibles would be cool.
To me,
I'm hoping it is.
Well, to me, I'm hoping it's
2D
hand drawn, but
Yeah.
also I'd be down for some CG if they go for that stylistic change every
Same.
single time.
Okay.
And also for me, I think it would depend on like what's like if it's Peggy Carter becoming Captain America,
Right.
I would love it to be traditional hand drawn.
Hand-drawn, yes.
Reflect the time
Yeah.
that it's like supposed
But
to
if it's
be.
Iron
in.
Man, do CG
There was.
Iron Man.
I used to collect these Marvel cards in '95, I believe. There were the Marvel Metal '95 cards, and they had a like a Other Worlds or a What If like special card collection in the back, the limited ones that would run. And there was two really cool ones that stand out in my head. There was one where Iron Man goes back in time and meets Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table.
Dope.
So he's
Happens.
sitting there in like that tarp thing that the knights wear, but with the sword over his head, and I'm just like, that's amazing. And then the other one is Wolverine becomes a vampire.
Cool.
And so he's got his claws out, but he's got like the
Giant
extra long fangs and like he's
yeah.
bleeding, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that
This
would
is
be
tight.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So all that stuff,
dope.
all the possibility at this point now.
Yeah,
So
that would all be amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was officially confirmed, and they even revealed the logo. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, will be getting their own show. Both of their reactions. Sebastian Stan just being like, okay. And I forget what Anthony Mackie said. Oh, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
And I responded, and all I said was, cut the check.
Me too.
My guy.
I'm
the
sure
same.
you guys and 1,000 million other people.
Good.
I looked through the thread, and no one else that I saw did that.
Okay,
but
good.
I'm excited about that. And, there's a lot of speculation with a lot of these character shows. Is that does this destroy the surprise or the ending of Avengers Endgame? I don't necessarily know because we don't know where these could take place.
Right.
There's obviously the events of certain movies that will kind of dictate where these could take place, but we kind of don't know. They could be whatever. They could be alternate universes. We don't know.
Plus, we also don't know what the scope of these shows is going to be. We
Right.
don't know
Yeah.
if there's going to be multiple seasons or if it's just like, hey, here's a 6-episode miniseries.
Yeah,
of
we're
what
tying up this
happened in
loose
between
end.
this.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Crazy if WandaVision was 6 episodes and all it is 20 minutes each, and it's just the
A
Vision,
rom-com?
the Vision and Scarlet Witch in one room talking.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
cooking and
exactly.
talking.
We don't know what. Yeah, cooking.
Yeah.
We don't know
Like,
what
we don't
the
know.
scope of these
We
are.
don't know
it's
what the
probably
scope is
not
at
going to
all.
be that, but
Yeah.
still, it's just them cooking for
Right.
an hour for
It's a
6
cooking
hours.
It's
show.
just
It's
going to
two
be like
superheroes.
a 6-episode long song of A Whole New World. They're just going to be singing A Whole New World, flying. She's going to be flying around with them.
Great.
And then,
Could be.
there you go. That's
Could
what
be.
it's going to be.
Yeah, and that's the second series. It's WandaVision with Scarlet Witch and the Vision.
Yep.
Not crazy about that. That's a weird title.
I like it.
I like
it's,
it.
It's cute, I guess.
I think,
it reminds me of VistaVision. I'm like, are y'all shooting this on film?
Yeah.
What's
No,
happening here?
people were like, "Why is it that, but not Falcon and the Winter Soldier?" They didn't call it
Lethal Weapon.
Bucky Falcon or something.
Yeah.
because you can't make a pun out of Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Right,
but with
WandaVision works.
Vision and
WandaVision reminds me of those old school TV shows, with the the old school
Yeah.
whatever they're called, the Home Couple or whatever they not Odd Couple.
Home Couple.
No,
Odd
those
Couple?
just those old black
Yeah.
and white TV
Yeah, yeah,
shows
yeah.
where the guy would come home and say,
Like the I Love
I'm
Lucy's?
home. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to see a black and white WandaVision show.
They're perfect
Just
little.
completely random.
Where Vision
Yeah.
comes home, he takes off his little
Hey,
hat and his coat, and
listen,
then she's like,
Scarlet, I'm home.
Listen, writer Tom King, who wrote the Vision miniseries, the 12-issue miniseries for Marvel a couple years back, that is, and I'm not exaggerating, fucking mind-blowingly good, posted an image from that series where it was the Vision and Wanda embracing, and he just put WandaVision. I don't think he has anything to do with the show, but That miniseries is about the Vision building synthetic family members, a wife and 2 kids, and trying to like have a regular life in the suburbs in Washington D.C. as he's a liaison to the Avengers. And dude, and it is like,
oh my God,
it is haunting. It's so creepy and good, but. It would be fun to try to see the Vision and Wanda to have like an idyllic life, some kind of a suburban.
Well, I mean, WandaVision kind of leads to House of M, though, which is really fucked up.
I know, man. But I also think
it's really fucked up.
I think they went with WandaVision because I bet you, even though the character is named this in like promotional stuff, I don't ever remember her being explicitly named Scarlet Witch in any movies. And Scarlet Witch probably isn't they're probably not stoked from a PR level to call a female character Scarlet Witch. In the 60s, it flew. It could fly, but today so they're like, how about Wanda? How about WandaVision? Done.
There you go.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Now in WandaVision.
Do you guys think these shows will take place after Endgame, or do you think?
I honestly think that they will.
I think we're gonna get a smattering of like pre, post, whatever.
And for people that are like, well, doesn't it spoil it? I honestly want to just do the Justin Timberlake gif where it's just like
the SNL one. Yeah.
Yeah, like zoom in on me, like, come on.
Somebody gif it up now.
Come on.
Do it.
If you're savvy enough to be reading what's being announced at the Disney Plus Summit or whatever, then you know that they're going to be making movies after this movie. Then you're going to be somewhat familiar with the comics. Then you're probably already aware that they're going to somehow undo the snap.
Exactly.
But just like, don't let that ruin your like. Just go see
the journey is the thing that I'm excited about.
Don't let that be like, oh well, I know how it's going to end. It's like, okay, well then, can you enjoy any movie ever?
Do you know that Spider-Man: Far From Home is coming out?
Did you know that we're all going to die someday? So what's the point of watching any movie and enjoying?
What's the point of living if I'm going to die someday?
What's the point of enjoying anything in the moment?
Yeah,
exactly. It's like
we're
all just going to get old.
Well, I know
it's
going to end.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It will.
Like, okay, cool. That's not a good way to look
at it, bro.
Something is not beautiful because it lasts.
Look at
the Vision, WandaVision.
Nice.
I feel like you should bust into "Kiss from a Rose" at that point.
Also, this was not talked about at the actual investors call conference, whatever you want to call it, that a new Hawkeye series is also reportedly coming to the service, which will set up Kate Bishop taking over the mantle of Hawkeye. He was actually also on Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh man, I bet you they could not do that, but they could do something to make what Jeremy Renner does work. Do you know what I mean? They could do something. Zach's over here yelling, goes, I don't want to see Renner do Matt Fraction Hawkeye. It doesn't work. I kind of get that. But the exciting thing is Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
That's the exciting thing, that it's like, it feels like these announcements were literally made because the internet was paying it, that Marvel Studios was paying attention to the internet 4 years ago. Yeah. And what we were like, we want this.
They watched our show and they were like,
what about this? What about this? Not just our show, like the whole dumb YouTube internet that was like, this would be a great show.
Yeah, and I think, and it was funny because he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel was constantly prying him for answers, and he was just pitching this fake movie that him and Paul Rudd came up with. It was great.
Great.
But Joseph Benda, who's part of the Gritos group on Patreon, look at that, you got it, exclusive. Ask a question. Given the Peggy Carter as Captain America show, what is your dream what if Marvel story? I don't have a dream what if story.
You got to do a little bit of research, my friend. Because there's some
good stuff.
But the one that I was going to talk about is the one that you and I recorded in a car on the way down to San Diego.
What was it?
Where we talked about this is not just Marvel specific. We talked about what if in 2008 Batman Begins.
They'll never do that. They can't do that.
No, they can't do that.
Yeah.
But I would love that would be just like a fun what if, whether it was a YouTube series or whatever, which maybe we should make that a Patreon goal.
Maybe
That'd
we
be
should
really fun.
to do a special where we like
flip everything.
We show you the alternate universe.
I made a poster, remember? And it was called Iron Man Begins. And it was Iron Man standing on top of the building silhouetted. It was real dumb.
The sequel in 2008 was The Golden Avenger.
That's right.
Yeah, and then The Golden Avenger Rises in 2012.
That's my what if. Not Marvel specific.
I have one, but I don't want it to be an episode of this because I want it to be a movie, which is what if Jane Foster were Thor? And that was a classic issue of what if, and then eventually they actually made that the regular thing where Jane Foster picks up the hammer. She was worthy. I want Natalie Portman to come back in a movie, so I would not want her to come back to do the voice for one episode because I feel like the way she left Marvel, that would also be a little bit of a bummer to be like, Natalie, can you please come back? And this is like a made-up scenario, but what if you were Thor? Because she'd be like, what the fuck? Like I could be Thor. So instead, let her do that in a live-action movie. Right. In terms of the MCU, I would like to see what if Captain America won the Civil War. instead of Iron Man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you could just do different
That'd be
outcomes
fun.
of events in the films.
Totally.
Events, yeah,
You know?
interesting.
So, but what about you?
I'm
Augustine?
racking my brain right
Yeah.
now. I don't really have a what if, just because I feel like I've gotten a lot of stuff that I like. But what if Marvel never sold their characters? I don't know.
That would be interesting.
What if the MCU started off with, I don't know, say, like the movie, like comic book movies back then before this whole thing started, like a really good Fantastic Four. Like, what if that was the baseline rather than
That'd be
like
cool.
Iron Man?
And then we lead into.
and then you
yeah.
lead into everything
In terms of the
else.
MCU and the movies, what if Ultron won? What if he actually?
Right.
Yeah.
What if he either killed everybody in Sokovia or actually did an extinction level event?
Right,
And then it's like
exactly.
we pick up 4 years later,
After
and the
that,
remaining
yeah.
Avengers are like in a post-apocalyptic.
Well, I mean, yeah,
That would be
I
dope.
mean, something like that would be cool, but it's just I feel like I don't know. I completely lost my train of thought.
Marvel,
Damn
what
it.
if?
Yeah,
what if
just
the Russo brothers never
Really-
made Winter Soldier?
Yeah, really, anything could be turned into a what
Yeah.
if.
Yeah.
Just think
What
of
if
any
Kevin
moment.
Feige never led Marvel Studios?
Exactly.
What if it was
You guys
Avi
don't
Arad?
ever do this. You got to do ones from the movies. What if
What if-
Yinsen was Iron Man
Yeah.
and Tony Stark died in the cave?
That would be cool.
What if Steve Rogers never became Captain America?
Yeah.
What if I mean, I guess we're going to get that with Peggy Carter. What
Yeah.
if Thanos invaded in 2012 instead of Loki and the Chitauri?
This is very
Thanos
Flashpoint. This is
showed
very
up.
Flashpoint.
Yeah,
But
I
what if?
mean-
What if Tony and his mom die, and his dad
And
becomes
Howard
Iron
Stark.
Man?
Yeah,
Right,
we could
right,
see that.
right.
We could see that. What if like what if the Winter Soldier didn't kill Howard Stark
Howard
or whatever?
Stark, yeah.
What if God, there's
Would we have
whole
seen a
bunch.
So
Howard
much.
Stark Iron Man?
Right.
What
There's so
if
much.
Peter Quill was taken to his dad as a little kid? Like, what if the Ravagers actually delivered young Peter
Yeah.
Quill to Ego?
To Ego.
And Kurt Russell raised him. Would he have died? Would he
No.
have,
There
would
would
he
be
different?
two egos. There would be
maybe.
double egos. Yeah.
Maybe, and then maybe that Peter Quill interacts with Gamora at some point,
Right.
and then his ego gets brought back down to, and then he becomes a
Yeah.
hero. I don't know.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What if
That
Drax's
requires a
family
lot
are
more
not
thought.
killed by Thanos?
This
What?
What
Yeah.
if Drax's family is not killed by Thanos?
Or Gamora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right. There's so
probably-
much.
What if you could literally turn anything into
What
a
if
what if?
Nebula was Gamora's favorite daughter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or Thanos' favorite daughter?
Thanos'
yeah.
favorite daughter. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
Damn.
There's
What
so
if-
much.
What if Ant-Man were still in jail, or what if he never went to jail?
Yeah.
What if he never became What if Scott Lang never became Ant-Man?
Yeah.
And
How do you get out of this pickle
and
now?
old ass Hank Pym was like, I gotta get back in the suit, and he like puts it on. I
gotta start working out.
I gotta start working out. I gotta find my wife. Microverse. Yeah, I'm going through all the movies right now. What if Stephen Strange never got into a car accident? Would he still be a target on Hydra's algorithm? Would he
Right.
still be a hero?
Yeah.
So maybe there's some version where instead of becoming, because there's a what if Iron Man becomes Doctor Strange? What if where Tony Stark becomes the Sorcerer Supreme? That would be
Yeah,
dope.
That would be dope.
Oh
That
man,
That would be
amazing.
fun.
He would
And
turn.
he
That's
uses
essentially
Yeah,
Doctor
like,
Doom.
what if-
he uses
That's
technology
essentially
and
Doctor Doom,
mysticism.
and he becomes evil.
Yeah, like what if
Ooh.
heroes became other heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or became some villains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did. I
Exactly.
think they did. What if Punisher became Cap or something? Or
Right.
I think there was even a what if Punisher became Doctor Strange? I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it'd be
There's
very
a ton.
interesting.
There's a
Wasn't
ton.
Old Man Logan a what if story kind of like
Yeah, pretty
alternate
much.
universe
It's
type
definitely
of
an
situation?
alternate universe. Yeah.
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 So it's
Endless
stuff like that.
possibilities.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
I would
literally
actually,
endless.
I would actually like to turn the question over to you guys in the comments.
That's a,
Actually,
What's a
you
Marvel
guys come
what
up
if
with
story
stuff.
that you think would be really, really cool? That's
Yeah.
what I would like to see.
Yeah.
I think there's so many opportunities for a lot of people to kind of jump in and give
For
their
sure,
opinions on
for
that.
sure.
In the meantime, we're going to move over to our last story before we get into viewer questions.
yeah.
Bruce Wayne
Who?
joining
Who dat?
Titans
Who dat?
season 2.
Batman.
That's very interesting
Bruce
and
Wayne,
exciting. Bruce
not
Wayne.
Batman.
Very, very
Well,
strategically.
Batman was in Titan season 1. We saw him, but we just didn't see
I
him.
haven't seen the show yet.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I hope he gets a better suit if he wears it again.
That's all right.
It's
That's all right.
kind of bad.
That's all right.
But Ian Glenn from Game of Thrones is going to be playing Bruce Wayne. This sparked a lot of discussion because this actor is 57 years old, I believe. So
Okay.
he's probably one of the oldest actors to play Batman.
That means we're getting
or
Batman
Bruce
Beyond.
Wayne.
Then. That's all that means.
Well, and I think also, like, you look at Doo-Doo-Doom, you look at the story and where the Titan story is, and you look at where Robin is, Dick Grayson, and he is basically on the path to becoming Nightwing. So for me, it makes sense for Batman in this universe at this point in time, in this timeline, to be older. Because I don't know, do they ever establish how old Dick Grayson is on Titans? He's in his 20s. He's in his mid-20s,
I think just 20s. I don't know if there's an actual. I can't remember
If
there's
he's
an
25
age.
and this
Yeah.
and this version of Batman is supposed to be 50, then like I would buy that there's a 25-year age gap between these two characters. I would have been okay with him being a little bit younger. But I think the thing that excites me is the fact that, like, this kind of solidifies to me the thing that they've kind of been teasing of Robin will eventually become Nightwing.
Yeah.
And I think with these two characters sort of reconciling their relationship and trying to form a new bond, and Batman's sort of role in this season, he'll be a recurring character, his role being to kind of be there to support the Titans and to help them succeed.
Yeah.
I think that will lead to Nightwing even quicker than maybe some people anticipated.
That makes sense. That makes 100% sense.
I wonder if Batman's going to murder, like if he's going to kill, because it's kind of it's a little vague and a little unclear what the policy is. But again, in response to everything that's been happening with people talking about Batman killing, yay or nay, maybe the show will address that.
I think so, and I think in the description of the character, it talked about a little bit of how this character has been through so much, but he still, after all the years of fighting crime, still wants to do right by the people of Gotham, and he wants to reconcile his relationship with Dick Grayson. So I'm very interested to see where this goes, and I really like the fact that we're now finally getting a non-big screen version of Batman in some sort of a show.
Which we thought would never happen.
Yeah, because like on Smallville, he was teased that
Adam Knight.
Yeah, Adam Knight. And, you know, in all these other shows, he's had little cameos in like old Birds of Prey TV stuff. Just put Batman in a show. It's fine. The audience knows the difference between that Batman and whoever the hell Matt Reeves is going to get. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not like it's confusing at this point.
No.
Superheroes are.
We've established this whole superhero thing.
Yeah, like they're part of the lexicon at this point. Don't even worry about
it.
And even then, anymore. Titans and Doom Patrol are in one universe on TV. The Arrowverse is in another universe on TV.
Yeah.
Black Lightning's in another universe on TV. Gotham's in another universe. Krypton is in another universe on TV. So there's already right there five different DC specific, not even to count Lucifer, iZombie, you know, and
all
like
Preacher,
anything else based on a thing. Why the Last Man, which is going to be coming out. 5 just like DC superhero separate universes. If you're not including within the Arrowverse, Supergirl's on a different Earth. Like it's fine.
It's all good.
Give it to us.
And I've really enjoyed everything that I've seen from Titans and from Doom Patrol. So just like keep playing in that universe. Let's keep expanding. I wouldn't be against Avengers. I mean, they had Donna Troy on there. Just give us Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with it. They're mentioning these characters, so that could very much be a possibility.
They exist. Let them exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So that's going to be really exciting, and as we'll get more information, we'll talk about it in depth more.
Cool.
Let's go to viewer questions. So these were all submitted on by people who are on the Patreon. If you're in the $5 tier or above, you can submit questions. We try to get through as many as we can throughout the show. I sprinkled some in throughout the show so we could get more questions in. I cheated a little bit. But the first question comes from buddy Negiyama, who's part of the Thumper Elite tier, which is no longer a part of Patreon.
Very
so
cool
fix
guy.
it.
Very cool guy. Makes great ribs.
He does.
Yes.
Negi's really cool. He comes in and volunteers and helps us out here every month for Hyperdrive and stuff. He's great. But he asks, if money was no matter, what theater with projection options would you rent out for a private event, and what movie would you watch there?
Interesting.
It would definitely have to be IMAX and 3D compatible.
Dolby Theater?
Dolby Theater would be cool if you're gonna play. Honestly, if you're gonna play a 3D movie, which is something that we've been talking about a lot, I would want it to be in Dolby. The problem is not all movies are retrofitted for Dolby 3D, which sucks. Avengers Endgame is not, and I find that super disappointing. We saw Emily and I saw Alita: Battle Angel in Dolby 3D, and it was so dope.
Yeah,
it was so good.
That'd be great.
So that I think is the biggest thing for me. It's more about the projection and the sound. But if I'm gonna do something like a 3D experience, I want to try to be in the best 3D theater that we can find. And
what movie would you show?
What movie would I show? That's a really good question.
That's part of it.
Honestly, maybe even Alita. I loved the 3D. It was so good.
That'd be cool.
But I'm not really against showing anything. Like we talk about it all the time. The thing about
I would want it to be a ongoing thing, not just a one-off.
Yeah.
If it's a one-off, I'll be like,
it's just
I guess
one-off.
the
No,
Iron
it's
Giant.
just a one-off.
I guess the Iron Giant, but we've already done that.
Yeah,
we did it for
we
my
did
birthday.
We did that. Yeah.
We went and saw the Iron Giant. It was beautiful. We cried. It was great.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how much more I can cry.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
no, I
like,
want it to be an ongoing thing.
Maybe like MacGruber or something, or Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Why not Hot Rod, bro?
Because nobody's. It'd probably be Hot Rod.
It would definitely be Hot Rod.
We want Lucas to
and
come.
only
we want these guys to come.
Lucas would be there.
Yeah.
The projection doesn't matter. It can be shit sound, Hot Rod.
Yeah,
it'll still be the best time.
It'll still be the best time you've ever had.
Yeah.
I think mine would be, so since money is not an option, that means this is not a real life thing.
Yeah.
So for me, I would rent out the El Cap Theater. I would resurrect all my ancestors, and we would all go to El Cap and watch Coco together. Yeah.
My
so
man.
there you go.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's what we would do.
I have so many that I could list, but for the sake of the length of the show, I won't.
Okay.
The next question
shut
comes
up. We don't
from.
want to hear
Yeah, I know. The next question comes from the FDH, who's part of the Bonjoro tier on Patreon. Do you think Disney Plus will include the old Disney original movies when they made for their family movie nights? I remember the movie night that had a name. Can't remember for sure, but maybe Magical World of Disney. I could really go for some 100 Lives of Black Jack Savage. I looked it up, and it was called Wonderful World of Disney.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
The thing that had the intros by Walt Disney in black and white?
I think so. And then it moved to the Disney Channel, didn't it? And isn't that when they played like Zorro and stuff?
Maybe.
Old Zorro
I can't remember.
So.
That'd be cool.
I think I remember watching that when Disney would come on for free, because Disney used to be a subscription-only channel, like a premium cable channel.
So this stuff in particular was on like CBS and stuff.
Oh,
so it was on like regular cable. So you still would have seen it.
I still would have seen it then. Yeah. So I don't.
And then
probably
when Disney bought ABC, they started doing it on ABC.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's why it sounds familiar.
Yeah. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's a whole like if you just Google search Disney Plus content, there's so many articles that list in detail the things that are coming out on Disney Plus. But I'm obviously like I think we're all open for them going through the vault and unleashing everything that
you don't know who guards that vault.
Oh,
it's the
Walt
spirit
Disney
of
himself.
Walt Disney himself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the ghost of Walt Disney.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to answer all these riddles before you
I
get
know.
to unlock.
But I'm super excited to see what else they
Beauty
bring
and the
to that
Beast
platform.
Diamond Collection.
I know.
Yeah.
They're never going to re-release anything anymore. Whatever.
That's why you got to buy Blu-rays.
That's right, baby. Every
Great
time they
question.
come out. Annoying Ranter, who's part of the Hyper Homie tier, thank you so much. Also, brand new to Patreon. Thank you, man, so much for jumping on. What DCOM, Disney Channel original movie, has you most excited about the content of Disney Plus? Johnny Tsunami or Phantom of the Megaplex?
I'm going to go Johnny Tsunami.
Guys, I have been talking about this.
Johnny Tsunami specifically.
I have been talking about this for like the longest time, and I said I will not join this goddamn service
unless Johnny
if these
Tsunami's
movies are not on there. I love these late 90s, 2000s Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah.
Under Wraps, Phantom of the Megaplex, Johnny Tsunami, Halloween Town.
Life Size?
Really? Oh, dude, Smart House?
Okay.
Xenon?
All right.
My cousin
So many.
was
Motocross?
my cousin was floor mates with Johnny Tsunami at Santa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
They're so good.
My cousin went to UCSB and he was floor mates on the same floor with Johnny Tsunami. He said that he was the most famous guy.
Really?
at
Dude,
that building.
Johnny Tsunami was like the dopest movie back then.
Everybody was just like, "Fuck, it's Johnny Tsunami."
Brink, I love Brink.
I've never seen any of those
Oh,
movies.
dude.
Yeah, here's
That
the
was
deal.
my jam.
If you watch them now, you will be like,
They're
these are
terrible.
garbage. You
Absolutely.
can't. You miss the age.
I
to
missed
have
the
ever
age.
seen
I was
it.
too old for that shit.
No,
Yeah.
man, like that was my jam. Every single month when those movies came out, I ate it up. I was so into it. I love. So
I
good.
know Adam's into
I
it.
saw a
Did
bunch
you?
of them. I was not into any one of them. I did not
Really?
like a single one.
No way.
Yeah.
I
For
love
real,
I
them.
for
kind
real.
of feel like I would have been just like.
So,
I was so
this
into
would be
them.
the most hilarious podcast.
I know.
It'd be like, hey, we're talking about Johnny Tsunami
Guys,
today.
we're just
and
gonna
I'd be
start
like,
every
and we're like,
freaking
Adam,
podcast that
and we're like,
exists.
Adam,
be
what
like-
the fuck?
I know. I'll be like,
DCOMs.
It's all right. It's
The
all right.
podcast.
Look, all I'm
coming
just-
from Hyper
I'm
RPG.
I'm just trying to monetize any spare time I have watching Disney Plus, which I will be doing a lot of. So I'm like, well, how can I use
How can I
this
make
time?
money off
You don't
this?
want some DComs?
Yeah.
No, man. I'm
You
good on the
know, actually,
DComs.
you know what I hope that they do put on there? I would like to see that. I don't know if Disney owns the distribution right. Well, no, but I think it was a Disney thing. The black and white Zorro.
Sure, the
They
old
used
stuff.
to play on
Okay.
Disney Channel.
I think
it
they,
was
yeah,
so
I think
dope.
they have the rights to
I
that.
loved
yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Zorro.
That'd be cool.
So good.
Was that the stuff that Batman watched that inspired him to become Batman?
Maybe.
I
be cool.
think so.
But yeah,
Maybe.
so
I
good.
don't know.
Okay.
Next question from Philip Dreher, who's also in the Bonjoro tier. Thank you so much.
Bonjoro.
Bonjoro. With Disney and DC building their own streaming services, do you think their growing independence from third-party distribution will positively impact the diversity of their content? And do you have any thoughts regarding the timeline for global availability of DC Universe, considering Disney Plus aims for European, Asian, and Latin American availability until the end by the end of 2020.
Philip, that's a way smart question.
I feel like
not expecting that.
I feel like we need to refer to the Disney lawyers at this point. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I can, Philip.
Hold on, please.
We have to check in with our lawyers before we answer that question, Philip.
I don't have an answer for you.
We have no comment at this time.
Well, no,
let's break this down. Disney and DC building their own streaming services. Do you think they're growing independence from third-party distribution, meaning like the internet and other TV channels?
Maybe.
Third-party
distribution.
Well, I think what they're saying is like pulling their content
off of Netflix and Hulu or whatever will positively impact the diversity of their content. Will positively impact the diversity, meaning for them to maybe stay competitive, they'll do stuff aimed at adults. They'll do stuff with different, backgrounds for people.
Possibly. But I think this is also a question for the Disney lawyer. Like, do they want to go? Like, I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to.
I think Disney's playing it safe with it. That's the whole point. Like, they just announced Disney Channel original movies, and these two knuckleheads over here were flipping out. Like, that's, like. Their original stuff is going to be, it's not original, it is more of what they do.
Sure.
Exactly.
Plus, I think, like we talked about earlier, Netflix will be fine because they'll continue to make the content that they're so good at making, the Stranger Things, the House of Cards type of stuff. And Disney will continue to capitalize on what they can do. And I think as long as they each embrace the thing that they're good at and continue to just explore new things within the things that they know how to make, then I think they'll both be fine. In terms of DC Universe...
Yeah, Philip's asking, do you have any thoughts regarding that? I feel like this is a sneaky question for me, trying to get me to spill something.
Hector.
Do you have any thoughts regarding
the
timeline for global availability of DC Universe, considering that Disney Plus aims for Europe, Asian, and Latin American availability until the end of 2020?
Once again,
you answered it already, though.
That's a question for the lawyers.
It is, and I am not speaking on behalf of anybody at DC Universe or DC Daily or whatever, because we get asked this question all the time. All I have been told, and this is just my own opinion, so don't take this as anything, is like they're working on it. They're actively working on it. I also know that right now with their shows, the same with like CBS All Access and Star Trek Discovery, stuff that's not in the continental United States, or maybe including Hawaii and Alaska, I can't remember, but the U.S., stuff that's outside of that, if it's not on DC Universe, it's going to Netflix internationally, because DC Universe doesn't exist out there. So Titans is there, Doom Patrol is going to be on there when the season wraps, I think.
But I think you also addressed it earlier where you said the DC Universe app is very niche.
Yeah.
It is for DC fans specifically.
Yeah.
So I totally understand the hesitation for them to roll it out globally in a speedy manner like Disney Plus. Disney is for literally every freaking person in the world.
On the planet.
Of course they want that out there for everyone.
Yeah.
With DC it's different. It's different than like the Warner streaming service that they're building, Warner Plus, whatever ends up being Warner Media Plus. That to me is different. That's a completely, at that point, then yes, Warner Brothers should be marketing that particular streaming platform for everybody. And if that means that will absorb DC Universe, great. Then now make it available worldwide. But I think DC Universe specifically, it's like a Criterion channel. You don't launch it all at once.
It's very
You go
catered.
territory by territory. You see how it does. You see if it justifies expanding further. If they're not seeing the returns, the return on investment, then I don't think they're in a rush. I think they need to figure out, great, how do we get more people in?
Yeah.
Is that creating more content, putting out more stuff on the platform? It's a very calculated decision, I think, to put all this stuff out there.
I feel like you just channeled a lawyer right now.
No shit.
Yeah.
I kind of blacked out a little bit.
What happened?
I blacked out.
I gotta go.
I was thinking about the answer to the next question.
Sure.
The last question
you
for
read
the
it?
night. Yes, Druvin Patel, who's part of the Gritos tier,
Very nice.
asks, what would be the ideal show, in your opinion, for the new Disney Plus streaming service?
Go,
I got
Hector.
one. I'm going to pitch it. Disney, you can have this one for free. Just ask me to help you make Goofy Movie 3.
Hey, my guy.
Here's the pitch. You do a 30-minute or 20-minute show with a new episode every single day. That's DC Daily, but different. That specifically is talking about, and it's like a mini documentary about one thing on Disney Plus, an old cartoon, and you bring on a great host like Leonard Maltin used to do this stuff for classic Disney intros, where it's like giving you the context, and be like, the year was 1944,
right?
That kind of thing.
Julie
It's like,
Andrews,
just
baby.
invented the multiplane
yes,
camera.
that's what I'm talking. Like, I want that, but even now that they have all of this content, I would even want that for like we're going to talk to you today about season 4, episode 3 of The Simpsons. The year was 1993. You know, like and provide that context. Maybe even interview some people that were involved in that stuff get you hooked.
Get Conan on
get
that
Conan.
stuff. Yeah,
but like really, it's limitless. You could do an intro for each one of their movies. Anything that they want to point to. Anything that they could say today. It's blank day, and we're talking Empire Strikes Back, and it's available here streaming. But let me give you here's a 30-minute special about stuff you might not know about the movie, and we're talking to this person who worked on the movie. And now enjoy Empire Strikes Back, and it'll like go
Ralph
right
Garman
into it.
has been doing that on the DC Universe app. He's been
Yes,
doing
there's
these like
a couple
intros,
of those,
yeah,
which are
for the
great. But
movies.
like, give me like a 30-minute
more.
mini doc,
Right,
mini
like little
documentary.
mini docs.
And I think that's
really
I think that's the
amazing.
exciting thing about them really embracing documentaries. Aside from having National Geographic stuff, they are going to have things that are kind of like that. Specifically for Star Wars, they're doing a documentary series that's going to highlight people and groups who are responsible for certain things of the movies.
Cool.
Prop makers, set
Very cool.
builders.
Very cool. And aren't they doing one for Marvel Studios as well? Like
I think
a
so.
documentary series about Marvel.
Yeah, and I forget in the late '90s. What was the appeal of these movies?
Right.
Was it the consistency of having one every month? You know, talking about the things that they talked about. Or what was it? The appeal for me. It would honestly, like, I would love this as a series. I think they're talking about rebooting it. I don't know if it's for sure happening. Is the Mighty Ducks. Having Joshua Jackson come back
live action
as
cool.
as Charlie, and to actually be like the next
he's
generation
Coach
Gordon
Bombay too?
Bombay. Exactly.
Yeah,
And sort of the evolution and like talk about the sport, how it's evolved in the United States, and how it's been
Hector, because I'm a big nerd.
Yeah,
when it
man.
comes to all that stuff. For me, it would be specifically for their animation because Disney was built on animation. Like that's their backbone.
That is
So
Disney.
that is Disney.
And they were saying they're going to have all these old movies. It's like Black Cauldron. It's like, hey, listen, everybody knows that, but like,
Song
tell
of
me
the
about
South.
it.
They're definitely going to have Song of the South.
God.
Just kidding. They're not going to have that one on there.
They're not going to have it. So Disney hit
He
me up
almost
for
blinked.
a Goofy Movie 3, and I'll help you fix Splash Mountain,
Splash
which
Mountain
is
will be
based
all
on
fixed.
racist ass Song of the South.
Yeah,
Hit me up.
I feel like it.
Hit me
that-
up. Bro.
I feel like that needs to happen because of the legacy of animation and Disney, and we would not be where we are today without all of that stuff.
sure.
And I've seen so many documentaries on it, but I cannot get enough of all of this stuff. So
honestly,
that's
I will
mine.
say really quick, like the thing that I'm kind of anticipating the most about Disney Plus is the National Geographic documentary stuff.
that stuff is
I'm
great.
really looking forward to that
is
stuff.
Amazing.
I'm super excited about everything else.
Yeah.
But like different.
Yeah.
That's not
Right,
Disney
right.
proper, Marvel, Star Wars. It's like
Right.
National Geographic. I'm actually really looking forward to that stuff.
They
And
make
Jeff
some beautiful
Goldblum's new
stuff.
show,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
which
world
like was
according
my
to Jeff
most
Goldblum.
was like my most tweeted thing or retweeted thing of the whole thread I made about Disney Plus, and I was like, people just love Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
people
great.
He's the
love it.
best. He's the best.
In fact, ask him to do the intro for every single.
that would be
Dude.
so,
Dude.
and literally just be the Grandmaster.
Smart House.
Such a delightful little cartoon.
House. Really wonderful.
Really
Take a
wonderfully
look.
drawn.
Yeah. I like the way that their eyes move in this. Johnny Tsunami, enjoy.
Well, he plays piano because apparently
Johnny
he can play piano.
Tsunami.
And he makes up songs
Is this a real
for
movie? Take a look. And it's just the intro. It's just Jeff Goldblum doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
So good.
That would be so
That'd
dope.
be so
So
good.
that's what we want. The mini docs with
Just
starring-
called it Goldblum Plus.
Yeah, Goldblum Plus.
Jeff Plus.
Mini docs
It's just a
starring.
Grandmaster
24-hour
Plus.
live stream of his house.
Yeah.
Just walking around.
Just making
Just-
music.
yeah.
Thank you so much to everybody who submitted questions on Patreon. If you want to do so, like we said at the top, go to patreon.com/hyperrpg. Check out everything that we've revamped, added, taken away. They're excited about Disney Plus. Like, what are you looking forward to the most? Is the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff, National Geographic, ESPN, whatever they're integrating into the app? Let us know what you're looking forward to the most. And let us know all your thoughts on Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker.